Welcome to the Growth Bridge. I'm Ivo-Castillo, your host here in Miami. This podcast is for entrepreneurs and leaders with strong ties in Latin America who want to understand how Anglo founders think about growth, marketing, leadership, and decision making, and how to apply their mindset into your own business. Today, I'm excited to have Lee. He is the founder of Jupiter. How are you, Lee?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for the invite. I'm really excited to get on this podcast. With Jupiter, I'm a co-founder that's building the product for a few years now. And then we always focus on like the marketing tech side. So when you guys reach out, I was like, this looks a perfect fit to talk more about how AI is changing marketing and how the industry should be adopting.
Yes, this will be a great conversation.
Yeah.
First, tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah. So
What is Jupiter?
yeah, cool. So again, I'm Lee. I'm originally a product designer, work in different tech company, majority spending time in startups. And then during COVID, we have this idea of like how to create content much more easily. And then that was the time where the Clubhouse was a hit. It was like an audio chat room app where a lot of people also start listening to podcasts during COVID time. And then we realized like audio and video is going to become main medium for people to create content and how people engage. And it turns out to be true. We have Instagram Reels, we have YouTube Short that's kind of like going really strong the last like 2 years. But like the time and effort to create content is still extremely difficult and exhausting. You create a podcast, you know how to deal with all the files and different thing, and then you try to put it into short and then post on Instagram, and at the same time there's YouTube, there's like different format, different caption, different things. So right now, Jupiter is basically a tool to help you to streamline this process to create video much more faster by like editing your video for you.
Okay. And who buys this app? Or
So-
how is the process of the services?
Yeah. So last year we launched our AI video editing app. So that was kind of like originally focused on content creator who's trying to create more YouTube short, Instagram Reels, and TikTok video. And then what we do is basically you upload your raw footage, like a talking head video, like just me talking. And then we help you to do the editing once you upload. So adding the hook, the transition, the background music, B-roll that fits the content of your script. And then everything's kind of ready for you once you upload. And then obviously you want to make changes. You could do it with a much intuitive editor. There's no timeline. There's no like 100 buttons on the editor. It's just like really simple, like Canva, but for a video. And then you export that out and then download back and then like publish it to your social media. So that's kind of like what our product was doing last year. And then right now we're actually kind of transiting more into the video marketing space. We're helping business to figure out like what they should be posting, why, and what's the strategies, and what's the framework they could follow, and what's the proven way of getting traction through social media videos. That's going to be important as we see that in marketing for like this year or like the next like 2 or 3 years, it's either going to be video or it's going to be like LLM, which is like AEO, SEO tool. So we're betting on this. Yeah.
And that brings me this question. What shift do you see in this short form video for SMBs this year?
Yeah. I would say we definitely see a lot of different business to start making video because they find out that the original way of placing ads or SEO are not working as good as before. So the online ads is getting more expensive, so they want to go organic. And a lot of them are not even trying to be viral, but just want to be more discoverable on social media. So a lot of SMB, we love to use this analogy, right? Around 5 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe like 20% of the restaurant has a website. And then now maybe like 80%, 90% of the restaurant has their own website, whether they have like the reservation system, their menu, or how to book them, or how to get to talk to them for catering, those stuff become the bare minimum of running a business. And then we're really thinking that a social media channel like YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook page, TikTok, there's gonna be the bare minimum for SMB to have.
Yes. And where do you see the biggest lift first? Planning, editing, or publishing?
I think there's two problems. One is you don't know what you don't know. So we talk to a lot of SMB and they're professional in their own industry for decades. We talk to like lawyers, business owner, consultant. They are professional in their industry. But when it comes to like making video, it's so overwhelming and everything feels so heavy and then like they don't know where to start. So we realized that like that's actually the content gap. Everyone is going on TikTok or Instagram every single day. But when it comes to making them, a lot of people are lacking that's like 101. And at the same time, a lot of them are not content creator. So the way that they plan their content or create are not exactly how a content creator would be doing because they have a business behind their back. They want to convert more customer to their website, to their top of funnel. That's the goal. So kind of there's actually lacking of like resources and material online teaching how SMB or even bigger team should leverage video compared to content creator. There's going to be like a tons of like material online to teach other people how to become a content creator, become a YouTuber like Mr. Beast. But then the entrepreneurial, the business side of it is kind of like different. So that's like the first thing where like we want to help businesses figure out what video works for them. So you're actually putting time to making meaningful video that's going to be convert and going to be helping your potential customer, your target audience. At the same time, we want to help you to execute it way faster. Right now, we talk to people, they jump between maybe 5 to 10 different tools just to make one video. It goes all the way with like brainstorming with ChatGPT and then maybe come up with a script. And then they want to go on YouTube and maybe search for any reference video and try to bookmark them. And then at the same time, you want to analyze their transcript, which like maybe use a Chrome extension. And then you're going to go back to ChatGPT and then try to like make or butcher your script in. And then we have people that go on and paste their script on the teleprompter app on the iPhone. And then you have the camera set up. Someone try to buy a mic like this, and then you start filming. And then people are like, this is already so exhausting. And then I'm not good at camera. And I don't know how to do this like cut or different edits. And then you still have to like add B-roll, emoji, and everything to make it engaging. And then you go to the last step, which is like publishing. While that different platform require different kind of format. Like on YouTube Short, you could put in the title and the description. On Instagram, you could just put on the caption. And used to be hashtag, but then hashtag right now is not really performing anymore. But you get the idea. The more format, the more platform that you go to, the more things you have to take care. And then you have to do it repeatedly for probably like the first like 20 videos to get used to this routine and not seeing the success as well. And then start to seeing, okay, some videos tried it like right now performing. So that's like really overwhelming journey that no one have like ever cracked. We see different product kind of working in different steps that works really well, but there's no like kind of one operating system that could go through the entire process. Yeah.
And looking at your business as entrepreneur, Jupiter, what is working well now and what is frustrating because you're pivoting, right?
I think what's working well is after the pivot, we talk to more like business and team have they seeing this as a marketing funnel, something that they have to do anyway, and then they're just looking for a bigger tool. While that before, when we build a video editor, we're pretty much available to the entire general public. So we attract a lot of what we call truers, which they come and they see, they may try for a month, and then they're churning anyway. So that's make us really hard to focus our product with. At the same time, we attract a lot of different people. We have people from church want to make like content for church, and then we have like NGO, and then we have students, we have teacher, we have professor, we have consultant, we have business owner. We have too many different kind of people coming in to Jupiter using our editor, and they all want different things. And at the same time, they're not like really building a use case for scalable business. Yeah, like we have significant traction last year, going up to 160K sign up in like 2025, but then it doesn't really build us a sustainable business because they are the random people that come and go. And what happened after the pivot is we talked to like really focused and concentrated group of people that want to be consistent to do video marketing for their business. And then they are willing to pay way more and commit way more time in making those and improve those. And we're able to coach them, teach them the things that we learn ourselves by being in the industry, and then they're able to learn that as well. So that like educational and resources piece been very significantly helpful for them to continue on investing in video marketing. So that's kind of like a good signal. At the same time, we're able to charge way higher compared to just building a video tool, which is way competitive and people are lowering their price every single day. Yeah.
Yes. And tell me, what is the price? Because where I'm here from you, you're not just not editing platform. You are giving a consulting or giving more value to the business in
Yeah.
terms of the
So
market.
that's So that's kind of like what we do right now during this pivot because our product is not ready to be as good as ourselves, providing those coaching and guidance. But in the future, in the vision, we're building a product that apply AI to kind of give you the right insight and advice on what you should be doing. So that's kind of take the human part of it out of the equation. So we actually kind of like building a product where that we would personally use for our client. So right now, our service kind of like come with a standard like package because we're just like experimenting and in this pivot at the same time try to get our users to adopt our video OS system, which currently we're in like private beta. So we're getting like our onboarded client to use it every single day and try to create video, making scripts and edit and publish from there.
And tell me, how much is the price right now?
So for teams, like a small teams, we're charging around $300 to $500. Depends on how many video that they create. And then for solopreneur or business owner, we're charging them around $150.
Perfect. Which metrics matters the most to your clients right now?
That's a great question. A lot of people think that like marketing and video is all about impression. Obviously, that's what we call kind of measurable metrics. But at the same time, the conversion and how you bring potential customer from the video to your website and convert them is also very important. So we have been like looking at the industry and we know there are people that do 100 mil views, but convert less than a 10 or 100,000 videos because the content is significantly different. So a lot of business owners, they're missing this concept where that we call you have to set up your content pillar for every video that you create. So for example, there's like top of funnel video, there's like middle of funnel video or like the bottom of funnel video, which is more converting. So when you're making top of funnel video, you're probably just not hard selling yourself or your service. You're probably just giving advice and tips to the general public, talk about the most beginner friendly topic that attract more views to your video and just know your channel, know your brand. That's not about converting customer. That's more about impression and how many people become your subscriber. And then you're moving forward down the pipeline to all the way to the bottom funnel. This is where that you want to talk about customer testimonial video, showcase your success or what you be doing, and then actually having people to go to your website or your service and sign up for whatever it is you provide. So that's you might not be depends on your business, that might be targeting for very narrow audience. If you're running a local business in Miami, then you're focusing on like maybe one group of people in Miami, like young people, young and adult at their 25 to like 30 to sign up to this service. That is much more narrow, right? So that's if you make a content dedicated to that audience, it is not going to go viral. But then if it's high quality and you already build the audience from the top of funnel, this is where you create content to convert them to your platform. And then all the marketing people that I talk to always say this, you probably need like 10 touch point to convert a customer. So it's really hard to measure. So if I have to pick the metrics, it's very important to see the impression and also kind of the number of signups that you get and then calculate that ratio out.
And that's bring me to one question. In this scenario, where is the do users get stuck in their first 30 days?
I would say like, to me, I feel like user get stuck all the time because right now there's too much noise and different framework. And then users are really hard to digest what's going on. At the same time, there's 1,000 different AI tools that coming up every single day. And then that's just like very confusing for them. I talk to a lot of like business owner. They don't really need fancy tool. They want kind of repetitive, consistent posting. They know that this is for the long game. They will not be successful posting like one viral video or like shoot for the star. They need to make this a repeatable kind of habit to do it like every single week. So being consistent is where that people get stuck most. So it is easy for someone that's really excited and hyped and get their new mic and camera and then record the first video and post it. But then the aftermath, after like maybe 3 videos, 5 videos, that's where the challenge comes in, where that you start to see the result of your first few video, and then you start to think like, what should I be doing? How do I kind of get over this bottleneck on views, or like get more feedback to make it more sustainable and scalable? One analogy I personally love to use in Jupiter is it's like going to the gym. Everyone is hype and see the pump the first time they work out from the gym, they see the mirror, but then it is the quiet days where that no one want to go to the gym with you, and then you're like, oh, should I go or not? That's where that like most people fail. I think same thing with podcasts. I heard that in podcast statistic that like most podcasts doesn't make it more than like 10 episodes, right? So if you like make it over 10 episodes, you're already like maybe the top 5% of the population. Yeah.
And which features drive first week value? The auto B-roll, the subtitles, the hooks, the music. What is the features that
I think for our editor, like B-roll has been the most popular feature. Obviously, we have received amazing feedback from our users saying that we kind of like are leading in this feature compared to other competitor like Submagic or Opus Clip. So obviously, thanks to our collaboration with iStock, which is Getty Image, they provide us really nice like B-roll that we could use. And at the same time, we spend a lot of time iterating our AI to make sure that we kind of put the right and appropriate B-roll automatically for your video, but not a random cringe video that's going to be like awkward and then you cannot use that video anymore. So that's kind of like our killer feature for the editor. And then for our video OS, we're kind of training our AI agent to learn about your business, so we could kind of customize your script and customize onboarding. So once you log in, you'll be able to see scripts and video brief about your business that's kind of tailor-made, and then you could start record right away.
And just a question, can you share a recent client example and how it changed the game for them?
Yeah.
Have you any
So
example?
I think I have like 2 example that I could list out. One is a startup in Canada. It's called BuildMapper. They're basically like us, a SaaS company that run for construction company. They're doing like self-service sales tool for construction in North America. And then they've been putting a lot of effort into marketing. They used to have like a lot of blogs and they are revamping their website as well. But right now they want to expand their marketing pipeline into social media. And they were like kind of like one of our early pilot user in our video OS product, where that like we come in and then we have a great chat and then we start making video together. And then obviously if there's gonna be like hiccups where that like as a founder, they're super busy and then they're not gonna like have a lot of time to work it out with you and make the video. But then we just kind of like sit in and then try at first like 3 or 4 videos. And then amazingly, like also surprisingly, the founder is extremely kind of video native or camera native, where he's like so good on camera. So he could do everything with one take. And then we could just like add those up and upload that. I would call it a win because he makes video faster than I do. So I was genuinely surprised. And obviously I have my reason, like English is not my first language. So I'm like, yeah, I take a few more cuts, but seeing a client of us being able to use Jupiter and actually turn making video easy and get it out on the internet, that's a huge win for us because that's proof that if they could do it, other people could do it as well. And the other example was we're talking to a few real estate agents in the US, and then they kind of like getting into this like half retired phase of their career, and then they want to like make more educational content. And then we kind of guide it through, we constantly texting on WhatsApp, making sure that like they know what they do, what they want to do. And then we providing guidance of what they could be like recording, and also the way to make it more easy for them to edit and publish. And our first video actually hit 2,000 views on YouTube Short from a brand new account that has like no subscriber. So for us, that's like a huge win, because he tried to make a few videos, but always gets stuck at like 10 views, 20 views, or 100 views. And then being able to just do some more guidance and helping them out, and they'd be very excited to have the first one hit like 2,000 views. That's kind of like what we call the benchmark of a new account has no like background in video. If you're able to do that, that's kind of getting the small wins in the bell, and then you can move and kind of improve from there.
That's great. And tell us a little bit, how do you target this B2B marketing?
How do we targeting? So one first thing is like, we're a video company, so we need to make videos. So that's like the number one thing is through video, we kind of build our brand and build trust with our clients. At the same time that we learn more about the pain of making videos. So we can share that experience with our client. We can share tips and tricks that we help ourselves to become better, and we constantly improving. And then one great things about this is we could share learnings between different client and customers. So let's say the real estate agent, I just talk about, use this method to record, and then it worked. I could use this knowledge and then put it and suggest it to my other client. And then we're basically forming this community where we're helping each other to improve their video skills and getting success in video marketing. So that's going to be our major pillar in terms of growth. At the same time, we want to work with more community, especially people who are already starting making video, but still fail to find success with it. At the same time, on the marketing side, we want to like target to bigger team that already have more like resources in creating content and want to learn more about their workflow and potentially help them out. So we kind of like having like multiple pipeline, and at the same time, we're just learning and building the product with them.
And this more, if you fix one bottleneck that slows your wins today, what is it and why?
If I could like have a magic wand and fix like one thing, I would love to have the formula or the framework that could beat any algorithm and actually get wins for my customers. So as we all know, the social media world and the algorithm is changing every single day. There's always going to be like trending format or style, or that's going to happening everywhere on the internet. And sometimes it's very hard to navigate because a lot of people just kind of see what's viral and then try to copy, but that's not necessarily sustainable and scalable for their own business. So I feel like if we have that, magic wand that I could find out the best way to grow your content for you, then that will be a major, major win for both of us. Yeah.
And where do you want to be the business in 6 to 12 months?
We want the business to be big. I think that's what every entrepreneur and founder wants. We see huge potential in video marketing, and there's no one really tackling the space. There's a lot of different tools in the editing space or in the searching analytics or publishing space, but there's no one actually kind of position themselves like combining social media scheduler and video editing together. And then we want to build that ecosystem and become the go-to choice when it comes to like video marketing. So we want to shape it that way, and then we want to grow the company. We'll be launching our self-serve product in February, and we are inviting a lot of beta user coming in. So that's going to build us huge momentum and then build the right product for the right people. And then, we go from there.
That's great. In order to pivot in entrepreneurship, what did you try to do and not work, and what did you learn from it?
I would say as a founder, the biggest trap that you could be stuck at is just keep building the product and not having the clarity on, are you building the right thing? I think a lot of time when you build things, you see signals, but then how do you turn different signals into clarity and make the correct decision to respond to it? that's going to be critical. Startups is going to be a journey of failing, making mistakes, learning, pivoting, and go again. The quickest you could go through this cycle of iteration is the best that you could do. So one mistake that we would say, because we were kind of early, first time founder, early in our career, we spent a lot of time in our first like 2 iteration of Jupiter, where that we kind of get stuck in building something, thinking that like if we could build this next better, if we could fix all the bug, the customer would come. But that's kind of not true, because when you launch, you could already see the potential of the market and how people reacting to this tool. It's always zoom out and think about the high level, the problem solution space, and then knowing you're fixing the right problem for the right people. That's the utter most important thing, because no matter how sexy you make the product to be, if it's not servicing to the right people for their right problem, you're not getting paid, you're not building a sustainable business from it. So shorten the iteration loop or shorten the learning cycle. That's going to be like the most important thing, because our belief is once we get that going and we keep iterating and kind of have clarity on why we do things, we're going to get the win no matter how far it is or no matter how many iteration it is, as long as we get there fast. That's how, with AI, that's what we need to do as well, because it is helping us to build fast. We just need to figure things out fast. I think I think our mindset as an entrepreneur is 2 things. One is like the usual, like resilient. Like you have to push yourself. You have to make yourself uncomfortable. That's where you're doing the correct thing. If you feel comfortable, like just staying in your room and building, but not talking and going out talking to strangers, you're doing the wrong thing. So constantly put yourself under pressure. It is painful and it is tough, but that's going to be helpful in the long term. And then you're going to get the win. There's going to be something on the other side. Yeah.
That's great. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for your answers. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a great episode for you, our audience, and see you next episode. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.